The runway is still glamorous, the heels are still high, but in The Devil Wears Prada 2, this time the sharpest cuts aren't from the clothes, they are from the world of journalism. And honestly, as someone from that world, this one hit a little too close to home. Directed once again by David Frankel, Meryl Streep is back as the icy, immaculate Miranda Priestley. This time, Anne Hathaway plays Andy as someone who's grown into a confident, sharp journalist who knows how to chase a story all the way. Emily Blunt reappears as Emily, still stylish enough to slice through diamonds with a side eye. Now, the original 2006 film wasn't just a movie, it became a cultural reference point. Meryl Streep gave us a character so iconic that even today, if someone wants to explain fashion, leadership, intimidation, or just the silent judgment of a raised eyebrow, they say Miranda Priestley mode. Andy and Emily were the relatable strivers, the ones dreaming big, hustling harder, and somehow surviving a job that eats people alive. But The Devil Wears Prada 2, it flips that narrative on its head. This time the story isn't about chasing the dream. It's about what happens when the dream stalls or collapses entirely. The film opens with Andy receiving a major journalism award, a moment that feels triumphant, validating and long-awaited. But seconds before she walks on stage, her phone buzzes. Her entire team has been fired and the news is given to all of them on a text message. Management keeps the big bonuses and the people who actually built the publication are shown the door. As a journalist myself, that scene had me frozen because it's not far from reality. It's frighteningly familiar. Parallel to that, Miranda faces a crisis of her own, a colossal misstep that threatens both her reputation and the credibility of Runway. In an unexpected twist of fate, Andy is brought in as the only person who can help stabilize the sinking ship. This time not as an assistant, but as a writer to head the Runway's features department. From there, the film follows Andy and Miranda in a tense, complicated, strangely nostalgic professional reunion. Andy wants, or maybe needs, to regain Miranda's respect. Not approval in the desperate sense, but recognition, validation of her craft, her voice, her integrity. And Miranda, being Miranda, isn't quick to give away anything. Despite the glamorous backdrop, the couture, the sets, the power walks that should honestly be illegal, The Devil Wears Prada 2 is surprisingly grounded. Underneath the glitz, the movie digs into the state of modern journalism, how stories matter, but somehow storytellers are the first ones sacrificed, how media houses shrink while expectations grow, and how the world still craves good reporting, but barely invests in people who do it. The film doesn't go melodramatic with it. It stays honest, a little uncomfortable, and very relatable. At its core, it's about ambition and burnout. It's about what you give up to keep a dream alive, and it asks a question that lingered with me long after the credits rolled. If journalism can be saved, truly saved, why is no one brave enough to make that choice? There's a moment where Andy and a former colleague, also a journalist, talk about how every company that downsizes starts by cutting out the writer's room first. And I'll be honest, I laughed. The painful kind of laugh, because I have lived that. I have watched teams shrink while workloads doubled. I've been the person writing two people's target because budgets are tight. So, when a movie hits that nerve, it hits it accurately. Coming to performances, Meryl Streep slips back into Miranda Priestley like she never left. Controlled, calculating, devastatingly precise. But this time she isn't just intimidating, she's vulnerable in ways we did not get to see in the first film. Watching Miranda try to navigate a crisis from a position of weakness is quite fascinating. Anne Hathaway gives Andy this beautiful maturity, still earnest, still driven, but now someone who knows the weight of her words. Her arc is less about finding herself and more about reclaiming her identity in a world that constantly tries to silence her. Emily Blunt returns with a razor-sharp timing, offering comic relief while showing how far Emily has come. She's still fierce, but still trying to prove herself. And yes, the fashion is still fabulous. Even if the story leans more on substance, the movie never forgets its roots. Runway still dazzles. David Frankel keeps the film brisk, stylish, and layered. So, The Devil Wears Prada 2 might be wrapped in fashion and familiar faces, but at its heart, it's a film about the people who try every day to make their dreams matter. Is the film worth watching? Absolutely. It's nostalgic but meaningful, stylish but grounded, familiar yet surprisingly bold. It may not have the same fairy tale in New York magic as the first one, but it has something else: sincerity, purpose, and a message that feels urgently relevant. If you love fashion, if you love journalism, if you love dreaming big, or if you just want to revisit these iconic characters, this is a sequel that genuinely earns its place.